Good morning, Royal International Air Tattoo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Squadron Leader Graeme Muscat, and I am Red 10, the Team Supervisor with the Royal Air Force RAFAT team. It's the Red Arrows. It's great to be back here on day 3 of the Air Tattoos display for you today. If you look to your far right hand side, you'll see the team lining up ready for takeoff. They will line up in 3 sections. You have reds 1, 2, 3 in the first section. We have reds 4 and 5. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, red 4 is displaying with us today. He's back fit to fly, and we have the full complement of 8 aircraft. In the rear section, we have 6, 7 and 8. They will take off, they will form themselves up, they will do their pre-show check before they run into the display. As you're talking you through the display, I'll give you some more information about the wider Royal Air Force, about the Red Arrows, and also get your eyes in the correct piece of sky so you do not miss a second of the action of this great and fast and dynamic display by the Red Arrows. But for now, I'll let you listen to some radio transmissions as the team take off.
As you display to the left, 6, 2, 3, 5, radio, 5, right, there we go, power, just cover.
As I said, they'll fall into the 8 formation, they'll set themselves up, they'll do their pre-show checks before they run into display. 1,000 for a rolling and 1,000 for a flat. But once the team arrive, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to give them a shout, give them a round of applause as they arrive in our famous red, white and blue in war formation. Air Tattoo, please give a warm welcome to the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, the Red Arrows! Team arriving at over 400 miles per hour, and with Red 1 pulling up, collapsing into 8 arrow shape. This means he is selected to start the show full. As the team collect from war formation, which is approximately 200 to 300 feet from wingtip to wingtop, into the formation you see before you now, 8 arrow. Red 1 now bring the formation around to the left. Red 1 is Squad Leader Tom Bold. He is in his 3rd and final year on the team. He's also a former team member from 2014 to 16, where he was the synchro leader. He's also flown Typhoon, and he's also a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team Mark II and the Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2010. The smoke comes on for the 8 Arrow present. Keep your eyes on the formation for a dynamic shape change. As Red 7 and 8 perform a rollback to change the shape from 8 Arrow into Vixen. As the team bend round to the right, you'll see 8 Arrow into Vixen. And of course, if we were a 9 ship, we'd be in our famous Diamond 9 formation with the 9th aircraft at the back. However, we are an 8 ship for this entire season, and that is due to safety and supervision. We can only train 3 new pilots each year, but we hope to be back to our famous Diamond 9 next year for our own Diamond Jubilee celebration for our 60th display season next year. However, as the team come round to right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready for the Vixen roll. As the team rolls to left on the right hand side of Red 1 is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker. Rich is in his 1st year on the team, and it's very experienced aviator. He has flown operations on both Harrier and Typhoon. And he's also a former qualified flying sitter on the Hawk Team Mark II. There are 10 pilots on the team this year. There are Reds 1 to 8 you see performing ahead of you. Myself, Red 10 and Red 11. Who is Officer Commanding RAFAT, is Wing Commander Adam Collins. He is my predecessor, he was Red 10 before me. He is a former Tornado GR4 pilot, and he's also flown the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. He's also flown the Hawk Team Mark I in the aggressor role at 100 Squadron. The smoke is on for Reds 4 and 5 as they make their way back to the rear of the formation. In the first of our space-themed shapes, those familiar to the Red Arrows formation will know this as Apollo. As Red 1 pulls the team up for the Apollo, Luke, once again over 400 miles per hour, 4 to 5G, they'll lead at height of approximately 5,500 feet, with the aircraft now slowed to only 110 to 120 knots. This makes the controls a lot less responsive, making the formation keeping even more difficult. But now they accelerate through 200, 300, back to 400 miles per hour, where conversely the controls are now a lot more responsive, which makes it even more difficult for the formation to stay together. But due to their excellence, as they come round to the left for the Apollo, present. On the left-hand side of Red 1 is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Tom Hansford. Tom is also in the first year of the team, and he has flown Typhoon operationally, where he was a qualified weapons instructor. This means he taught all weapons technical information and frontline tactics to the entire Typhoon force, as Red 2 and 3 put their smoke on and the centre section made their way rearwards. For the second of our space-themed shapes, this will be the Eagle, present with Reds 4 and 5 all the way back at the rear of the formation. It's extremely difficult for them as we take all our formation references from Red 1 and not necessarily the ones from the aircraft closest into. As the team bend round to the left, get your cameras ready once again for the smoke coming on for the Eagle present. Of course, our first jet was Apollo and the Apollo station on the Eagle landing craft. This is an honour to the UK Space Command, which was formed in 2021 as the Royal Air Force acknowledged that space plays an important part in all future military operations. And that Space Command reached its initial operating capability in 2022. The smoke comes on from Reds 4 and 5 as they make their way forward to sit once again beside Reds 2 and 3, nestled just behind 6 with Reds 7 and 8 on trail. And in 2022, the Royal Air Force celebrates the 80th anniversary of that famous mission to take out the dams in the Ruhr Valley in Germany. Of course, that was carried out by 617, the Dam Busters Squadron, who of course still fly today. And you saw it earlier, flying the 5th generation F-35, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, cameras ready once again for the lightning roll. On the far right-hand side is Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. Ollie once again is in his first year on the team, a former Tornado GR4 pilot, and also a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark II. Those familiar to the airshow world will also know Ollie, as he used to fly with the North Wales-based Strike Master pair. His opposite number on the left-hand side is Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy. Red 3 from last year, and he has also flown the Tornado GR4 with 9 Squadron, and has also flown the Typhoon with both 11 and 12 Squadrons at RAF Coningsby, and he's a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark 1. Red 7 now moves to the left-hand side, Red 8 moves to the right-hand side, putting all the even numbers on the right-hand side and all the odd numbers on the left to form the shape known as Signet.
Left, out, reversing, left.
Radio transmission will appear to Tom from the Red 1, and he's almost robotic and monotone in the way that he gives those instructions. That's because the team fly the formation by ear as well as eye, and that means they're listening to the way that Red 1 gives those commands, so the entire formation moves as one. Of course, the gentlemen on the outside of the team have to put their input in just a little bit earlier than the ones on the inside to allow the wing to move as one, rather than provide a ripple effect down the wing. as the team come round to the right now. You can see Red 7 sitting on trail with Red 8 in behind. As the team come round to the right for one of the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre that the Red Arrows fly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. This is the Tornado! The ball call is made as Red 7 starts his roll, followed by Red 8 around the smoke of the rest of the formation.
Right now.
Of course, Red 1 doesn't want to make it too easy for the team, so the blue and red smoke comes on and then formation around the right. Let's see the more distance for Red 7 and 8. Let's take that rhythm and rate. In that particular manoeuvre, you may have seen that the aircraft are flying with their air brakes out. That's the small door at the back of the aircraft underneath. This means that the pilots will now fly with a higher throttle setting, thereby producing a hotter engine gas temperature, which makes the smoke burn a lot more brightly. It also disturbs the air outside the back of the aircraft, allowing the smoke to billow a lot more fuller, which enhances certain manoeuvres. As we come to the end of the first half, so far you've seen formation flying involving all 8 aircraft. As we go into the second half, the team will now split into 2 sections. We have Reds 1 through 5, they're now known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And Reds 6, 7 and 8, they are named after squadron leader Ray Hanna, they are now known as Hannah. One of the 4 members of the Red Arrows, he was ticketed, taking the team from a 7 to a 9, and also forming off trademark Diamond 9 formation. Air tattoo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look directly to your front to the start of the second half of the show. Get your cameras ready for the detonator! There with the red smoke on, 6 off to the left hand side, 7 off to the right hand side, and 8 up over the top. The Cinco pair, red 6 and 7 now up to our left and right hand side, approximately 1,000 feet before they dive down to 100 feet at a close speed of over 800 miles per hour. They are led by the Cinco leader, red 6, coming in from our left hand side. That is squadron leader James Turner, known as JT. 4th year on the team. A former Typhoon pilot and instructor on the Typhoon, as well as a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team. Each aircraft now only passing in 100 feet of each other, as they now turn from 4 to 5, even 6G as they turn half back towards the display line, in a manoeuvre known as Cyclone. Directly to your front, look to your right hand side with red 8 coming in over 450 miles per hour. The blue smoke is on. As he turns hard to your front left 45, and you can see Enid and an inverted V. As the team completes the goose.
A bit left now.
As Red 1 bring the team around to the left, you can see a small pod on the bottom of the aircraft. This is the smoke pod. Of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke and 1 minute of blue smoke, with each colour being individually selected by its own button on the pilot's control column. And of course in wind training, we coordinate and choreograph the smoke plan between Red 1 and 6 to ensure we have the right colour at the right time in the display and that we don't run out. Overlook directly to your front. Once again, the synchro pair are running in with Red 7 on the left-hand side, Red 6 on the right-hand side in tango formation. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready.
Break on, go.
The red smoke comes on, the synchro pair split for the synchro half. And today, the Royal Air Force, we mark 100 years since the Royal Air Force Memorial was unveiled in London and the RAF Memorial Fund was established, which later became the RAF Benevolent Fund. And we would like to dedicate today's display and our heart to acknowledge and dedicate to all the RAF family, especially those who support our people, our veterans and our families. But please give your hand, give a round of applause to the synchro pair for a wonderful heart over the skies of the air tattoo. Once again, the synchro pair up about 1,000 feet, and once again they'll dive down to that 100 feet, have that closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. They perform a series of barrel rolls in a manoeuvre called the double roll.
Whoa! Aya!
Go.
Get out, bro. Do it again.
Look to the front right now, just to the left-hand side, the V8 systems hang in the distance as Enid starts to pull on, where Red 8 is now caught up and sits in trail on Red 1. As the team perform a series of barrel rolls through the sky, leaving a snake-like smoke trail through the sky in a manoeuvre we like to call the Python.
Only the bank now. Move bank.
As I said earlier, there are 10 pilots on the team. However, the Red Arrows is not just about the pilots. We have over 140 personnel on the team, and over 130 of them are our support personnel. They're the engineers, the mechanics, the administrators, the public relations, and they are known as the Blues due to the colour of their overalls that they wear, and there are a number of those personnel knocking about the RIAT site show today. Of course, inside those Blues there are 10 individuals who fly in the back of our aircraft in between the shows when we cannot take the full engineering complement. They are known as Circus. One individual who is with me at every show is Circus 10. And he is responsible for filming the show for safety and debriefing purposes. He's also responsible for a lot of the air images and video you see across social media taken from the back of my aeroplane. However, once again, you've got the synchro pair running in from the left and from the right. Close speed over 800 miles per hour as they perform the carousel. Red 6 smoking blue, Red 7 smoking red. Pulling hard now, 5 to 6G. And once again, Red 7 now looking through the top of that canopy for Red 6 to ensure that he has the safe distance. Coming in from the left-hand side in the distance, once again, is Enid with the white smoke in trail. As once again he pulls up over 400 miles per hour, 4 to 5G as he rolls the aircraft to the right. And in 2023 we celebrated the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III. Get your cameras ready for the Enid coronation break. Enid just disappear ahead of us. Look to your right hand side. Hannah coming in with the white smoke on from red 6, leading red 7 and 8. Six rolls inverted. And of course the 7 and 8 will roll around the 40 smoke on red 7, smoking blue is flight attendant Stu Roberts. Stu is in his second year in the team, red 2 from last year, and he flew Typhoon on 11 and 12 squadrons. Red 8, smoking red, is flight attendant David Simmons, known as Simo. Simo's in his 5th year on the team, a former Tornado GR4 pilot, where he flew the roll demo in the Tornado, and he's also flown the Harrier and the F5 while on exchange with the United States Marine Corps. As Hannah leaves to our left-hand side, look to your right-hand side, and Eden once again running back in with the white smoke in trail. Commander's given us red 2 and 3, roll around the outside of the formation. Clear and go is the com as red 4 and 5, roll around red 2 and 3. In one of the hardest maneuvers our new pilot has to master each year, this is the rollback. Of course, the motto of the Red Arrows is a class, which means excellence, and that means we strive for excellence in everything that we do. From the very top to the very bottom of the squadron. But of course, we're also aware that we are only custodians of that motto for 4 to 5 years, and therefore we try to leave the squadron in a better place than where we found it. However, look directly to your front in the distance. Once again, Hannah running in directly from the front. The call is made for 7 and 8 to roll as the blue smoke comes on, and 7 and 8 roll around red 6. And once again, get your cameras ready for the Hannah Vortex break.
Hannah split.
Once again, red 6 off to the left hand side, red 7 off to the right hand side, and red 8 up over the top. Once again, the synchro pair run up to about 1,000 feet as they turn hard back towards the display line for their final manoeuvre of the show. Once again, at 100 feet above the airfield, a close speed of over 800 miles per hour, they perform a series of barrel rolls and inverted flights to leave the display area in a manoeuvre called the crossbow. Directly to your front, you can see Enid running back in with the white smoke on. The red smoke comes from red 1 as he rolls around the rest of the formation, leaving the infinity symbol in the sky for the infinity break. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2023 Royal Air Force Aerobatics team. It's the Red Arrows! Red 1 putting his smoke back on. He will gather the rest of the formation. They will form up before they do their final running in break to land. It's been an absolute pleasure to perform for you today here and yesterday, of course, at the Royal International Air Catching. If you'd like any more information about the Red Arrows, you can look us up online. We are RAF.mod.uk/Red Arrows. We're also across Twitter and Instagram at RAF Red Arrows. All the pilots have their own individual accounts. If you have any photos you want to share, hashtag Red Arrows, we'll put them up and share them all across social media. Once again, on behalf of the wider Royal Air Force and the Red Arrows, thanks for your support, thanks for coming out today, please stay dry, and I hope to see you again in the future. Thanks very much, goodbye. And thank you to Red 10 Squadron Leader Graeme Muscat. And so, with the Red Arrows about to set up for their break to land, back to George Bacon, who's got a few announcements for you. George.
Yes, thank you, Ben. What an exciting day this is. Just fabulous. And I'm so pleased we're getting so much flying in. Well, boys and girls, if you want to learn more about the Red Arrows, you've got your chance coming up in half an hour. What you need to do is make your way across to the Techno Zone. That's pretty much in the centre of the showground, because at 12:45, both Red 10 and Red 11, so Red 10 is the chap you've just been listening to, Squadron Leader Graeme Muscat, and the Red Arrow Supervisor, Wing Commander Adam Collins, will be there to describe what they see when they look at the world and take questions from the audience about flying with the Red Arrows. You can meet other crews as well. If you go into the Vintage Village, there's a Meet the Pilots area down there. 1300, you're going to hear from some Chipmunk pilots, interestingly enough. Now, that's an aircraft that has trained literally hundreds of thousands of pilots right across the generations. At 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, you can meet the UAE team, Alpha San. They'll be there to chat with you in autographs as well. At 1500, the AH129D. Meanwhile, just to make you aware, a lot of you I know in the past years have enjoyed playing the old Top Trumps. Now, that's our version of, course, the International Air to Do version. It's a family favourite card, and it's a game that's now available brand new at the official merchandise tent on the showground. And I suggest you get yours today. Perfect for all aviation enthusiasts, and of course, a great fun family and friends as well. Meanwhile, those of you keen to catch up, if you've been too busy behind as well as watching what's going on in front of you at the altitude, then just bear in mind that we've got live broadcast in the entire time, and you can watch that back later on their streaming service. You just go to watch.planestv.com. Your subscription also gives access to an amazing back catalogue of literally decades of Air to 2 and other air show coverage, stretching back more than 30 years. Just head to watch.planestv.com. Watch.planestv.com. Lots more to come, hours ahead of us. Back to the Ben for an update. Yes, thank you very much indeed, George. We're going to be recovering the Red Arrows now, of course, and then just to let you know what we've got coming up after that, the Saab Gripen E has already taxied, so that will be our next display item. Then we've got Squadron Al Emirat, the United Arab Emirates Air Force aerobatic team with their Iraqi MB339s. That's followed by the first of our Skytanker themed flypasts with the US Air Force MC-130J Commando 2 Hercules and the tilt rotor CD-22B Osprey, which will then do a short solo routine. That's followed by the German Army NH-90, the Swedish Air Force SK-60, the Italian Army AH-129D Mangusta, the French Air Force Rafale, and then hopefully taking us up to 2 o'clock, the Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Now, if the wind conditions are out of limits for the fighters who are operating out of Gloucestershire Airport today, then it may well be that we see the Lancaster only, but we'll update you nearer the time. That takes us through until 2 o'clock. But while we bring the rest of the Red Arrows onto the runway, I'm delighted to be joined here at the commentary position by Martin Donaldson from Saab Aeronautics in Sweden, who's going to be with me to describe this next display item. Martin, welcome to RIAT 2023, a big weekend here for Saab.
Thank you, yeah, appreciate it. It's an excellent air show and we're very happy to be here.
Now, we've got 2 aircraft types from Saab that we've never seen here before, haven't we? And they're both on show in the static display.
Yes, that is correct. We landed here with 2 Gripen Es, as well as the Global Eye. We have the Gripen E on air display, which we are seeing about this year, and we also have the Gripen E on static display, together with the Global Eye, if you want to have a closer look and talk to our crew.
And they're not far, in fact, away from where we are here, are they? They're practically in the middle of the showground.
Yes. basically can't miss them.
Indeed so. And we won't be able to miss the Gripen E when we see it flying shortly. We've obviously seen already the Swedish Air Force displaying the C model of the Gripen earlier on. What are the main things to look out for during this display compared with that?
Yeah, no, obviously the Gripen E is a brand new aircraft. It has made in flight in 2017. It has a complete new set of capabilities. However, most of them perhaps not visible.